The next job is to remove these outer covers. I'm going to try it with a straightforward screwdriver, and if that doesn't work I'll resort to my impact driver. So I'll just get these all undone. Back in the day we used to replace all these crosshead screws with Allen screws, which you can still get as a kit, I notice, online. And as I'm not looking to restore this Honda back to concours or original condition, I'm going to put it back into a state of trim that we'd have had in the 70s. So I'll be replacing all these really crappy bolts with some Allen key type ones later on. The wires from the alternator go all the way up there loosely through the engine casing just at the top here. Now that is also, they're on a rubber grommet. They're both there. That one looks like it's the starter motor one. Yep, starter motor one there. So this shows a close-up of the big wire here, which goes all the way down to this nut here, which is the starter motor. And then on top of here, this is the oil pressure switch, and there's a blue and red wire that follows all the way through on a bullet to this little frame here. Sorry, frame, I meant harness here. And I'm going to see if I can get that off there as well, this green and yellow one, green with a yellow stripe, onto there. Can't quite see how that attaches there, but that'll be the next bit. I'm not even sure what that is. It may even just be an earth. Yes, so this green wire here goes up to this unit here, and I think if I take that screw out there, that will release that little bracket there. Needless to say, it didn't, so I'm going to leave it there for now. Looks like there might have been a previous bodge on here, because what I'm not happy about is the fact that that odd green wire there should connect to that. It's actually just come loose. It was only wrapped around there, so I'm suspecting something's gone a bit weird there, and I haven't yet seen what that is, but that's where it came from. So it's a green wire with a very thin red, and it goes down into this harness that goes down to the alternator. I'm now going to take this alternator to bits, certainly these rings, to get them out the casings. The outer copper winds are held on by 3 bolts going down through here. You just want to watch the position. So this comes down here and out into this lug bit here, and then the inner ring appears to be held on by those 3 screws in the cover. So I'll give that a go now. Yes, okay, that's nice and simple. 3 screws, all the same length, bolt screws, what we want to call them. That rotor just lifts out. That's excellent. And then the bottom part will come out that way. They're in tight, so guess what? Impact screwdriver. Well, that's defeated me a little bit. So I've taken the corresponding wires out, that little rotary harness there, and thinking about it, I don't actually need to take that out. Nothing wrong with it. And all I'm going to do is polish the outside of this case, because it's aluminium. So why do I need to take that out? I don't, so I'm not going to. The next stage is to undo this bolt here, and it says to use a stout bar. I've used a great big bolt with a shoulder through the conrod eye to stop the crank from turning, and now I'm going to undo this bolt. Well, that came off relatively easily. What I'm supposed to do now is pull this rotor off with a puller, but the one I've got isn't big enough. So I'm going to go and see a friend and borrow one, or worst resort I'm going to have to buy one. So the next stage is to take the starter motor off, so I can do that anyway. So it's just basically held on, I think, by these two bolts here. I'll whip those off and that should remove the starter motor. Starter motor comes out real easy. That's it, it's out. Well, I got the engine back from my mate who's got the right gear, and this is now off, this rotor. What is important to note is that this has actually got a thread on the inside here, so what you need is a bearing remover or a wheel remover. So the first bit screws into there, there's another spanner bit that screws into there, and as you twist it, it'll pull it off rather than using the dirty great big puller that they show in the manual. So there's actually a kit that's quite cheap. If I'd have known that, I'd have bought one. Well, now I know. But so that's that off now. That gets bagged up, and we crack on.